Live at 5.
This is The Hour.
Welcome to The Hour. Coming up today, we have a fun-filled show for you.
Dan and David will be joining us on a debate on whether or not it is socially acceptable for parents to kiss their children on the lips in public.
Speaking of debates, we also have 2 more coming up for you. The scones. Big question, is it jam first or cream first? And also a discussion on why universities, a university has allegedly banned the use of capital letters.
We will also be joined by Kate and Natalie, who will be giving producer Joe a new full festive face. I don't know about you, but I'm not going to miss this.
Will and Lars are also going to be bringing us the latest news in the world of sport.
And plenty more to come in the way of entertainment. Let's start the show!
Now, so first up is a big topical debate that's up for discussion. It's been trending all over the internet. Can you guess what I'm talking about, Olivia?
Is it the David Beckham Instagram post?
Yes, it is indeed. And we are joined in the studio today by David Poucher and Dan Finch, who will be debating on whether or not it's socially acceptable for parents to kiss their children on the lips in public.
So Dan, let's start with you. What's your view on this?
I don't see an issue with it. I mean, they're related. It's his daughter. You know, it's a way of showing, you know, that love and
affection.
Affection, yeah. And I think, you know, there's 2 very different worlds, you know, in England. And I understand that, you know, that some people are very much like, oh my God, why? But I don't see an issue with it. I think if I had children, I don't. But if I had children, you know, I think it's something that I would do with my children because, again, it's affection. It's the same as hugging, as far as I'm aware.
What do you think, Dan? I mean, sorry, David.
I've told you already.
David, sorry.
It's not that I necessarily have a problem with parents kissing their child on the lips. I just think that in public it can be a problem because some people may get the wrong idea, or it can be, people can perceive it to be more sinister than it actually is, and I think that can cause problems for parents.
But is that not their problem? Because really, if they're thinking, oh, that's a bit disgusting, you're kissing your child, that's their problem. Why is that your problem? As a parent, or you're looking out for your child and you want to, you know, show them. You're not showing anybody else that you love them. That's not the point. You're just giving them like, you know, affection because you want them to know that you love them and that you're protecting them and that they're safe. I don't.
Yeah, I mean, it's not that I have a problem with them kissing. It's more that people can take it as something to be much worse than it actually is. And I mean, it's not that it's not anyone else's problem. It's like if sometimes it happens where people are reported for doing this, and it causes huge problems for the parents. You know, that it can be a disaster or something so innocent and something that wasn't sinister at all. You know.
I think it's more. There's a big, obviously, debate at the moment on. I think it's almost what you should share and shouldn't be sharing on social media. So, I mean, there's a fine line, isn't there, between kind of, you know, putting, I suppose, pictures of your children out there, because obviously if your child doesn't have a say in it, it might be a bit, you know. So what are your views then in terms of the fact that David Beckham has shared this on Instagram, which is such a huge platform where, you know, anyone can access that photo, really? What are your views on that, the fact that it's on social media?
I don't think... This is quite complicated when you bring it into that situation because people, no matter what you put on Instagram or Twitter or Facebook or whatever, can misuse what you put on there. So that is a concern, but at the same time, that shouldn't be his concern. That should be maybe, you know, maybe be a little bit wary of putting things on. I mean, I know a lot of people that will put, you know, a lot of pictures of their child on the internet all the time, just child. Which and for that I think maybe you're overdoing it. But I understand, like you know, it's his family. He wants to, you know, he's happy with what he's created. To put it that way. So, and he wants to, you know, show people, look, like I spend time with my children. You know, I do love my children. I think a lot of people sort of forget that. He's David Beckham. He's David Beckham. Therefore, you know, he's living this amazing life. But which he is. Don't get me wrong. He's rich, but he's also normal. like in the sense that he has a family, he wants to care for his family,
Yeah.
and it's sort of showing like, and I think it is showing that I'm normal. I care for my family. I have a family. I love my family. I'm spending time with my family. I'm not off making money all the time.
Yeah.
But sometimes he is.
Yeah, it's like a man of people. What are your thoughts on this, David?
I don't think that that it's wrong for him to spend time with his family and to share that. But I think when you're dealing with children, like as you were saying there, anyone can access that, and I think posting pictures of your children, it puts them in a very vulnerable position. You know, I mean, it doesn't matter who you are. You're putting children in a position where they can be exploited, and not even in terms of trolling and like commenting and comments. And the thing is, the internet is like that stuff is there forever. So these people can go back and see this and see all the stuff.
Do we know how old she is, by the way? Does anybody know?
I'm not sure. It's Harper Peckham, isn't it? I would have guessed she's maybe 4 or 5 in that region. How old do you think
she's
she
like
is?
9 or 10, isn't she?
Is she?
See, and this is why I
Oh,
asked.
God, sorry, I must apologise for that.
this
That
is-
was just a guess.
This is why I asked. Can we like confirm at all?
Yeah,
Like,
we
confirm
can
how old she
get
is?
confirmation.
Anybody want to Google
We're
it?
finding out. We're finding out.
The
Yeah.
reason
Because
I
I think-
ask is because I think it's a very different situation. If she is 4 or 5,
Yeah.
she's 7.
Just
Okay.
like confirmation,
she's
seven.
seven.
So
Seven
she's
years old,
at that age which is between like.
It's a middle ground.
Yeah,
kind
if
of,
she
isn't
was
it?
4 or 5, I don't agree with putting somebody that young on
Yeah.
there.
Yeah.
But actually, when she's 7, he's probably asked her.
Yeah.
And and some people will question whether she's 7 or whether she has the right mind. A lot of 7-year-olds are very aware
Yeah.
of everything, especially now. You have to remember that when we were 7, you didn't have social media anyway. So when it did come round like a bit later, we were all learning together and we weren't aware of it. But actually, a 7-year-old actually does know what all this stuff is. They know what the internet is, and they know what an iPad is, and they know what all these things are.
I mean,
So-
I'm sure they know what the internet is, but do they know the kind of platform? Does
They-
she know the kind of platform
I'm
that
sure
her
they
dad
know the
has?
consequences.
I'm sure that they know.
Yeah.
Well, so they're not going to know the consequences and the bad things that happen, because actually, as a parent, if if I was, her father, if I was David Beckham, I'm sure, then I probably wouldn't share the bad things about the internet with them because I don't want to scare them.
Yeah.
But I'm
Yeah.
sure she knows what Instagram is. I have
Yeah.
no doubt that she knows what Instagram is,
Yeah.
and
But the
he
thing
would have
is,
asked her.
that so she's 7 years old. She doesn't understand what kind of people are out in the world. They don't know how she can
But
be
when
exploited.
do you tell your children about that? Because I wouldn't tell my children about that from many.
But it's
Like
not a
stranger
question.
danger.
I don't think it's a question of when you tell them that. I think it's a question of whether or not he was right to make the decision make that decision for her.
Yeah, now
And
going
put her-
back to the original topic that we're focusing on is the fact that it's, should you be able to kiss your children on the lips in public? Specifically the fact that he's kissing his daughter on the lips. Now I want to ask you both, what would your reaction be if you were walking, say, down city centre Manchester and you saw it happening, just a general everyday person with their child, whether it be their daughter or son, and they decide to give them a peck, a kiss on the lips, or like, an affectionate kiss on the lips, as you do. What would your reaction be to that?
It'd just be, oh, look, a mum's kissing
Yeah.
her son on the lips. For me, I wouldn't be like, oh my God, like, what the hell, that's disgusting.
Yeah.
I would just be like, oh, that's just happened.
Yeah.
It would be the same if I walked down and like, she was holding her son's hand, or she was giving him a hug.
Yeah. Yeah, what about you? What about you?
My reaction would be the same as Dan's, actually. I wouldn't have a problem personally with it. I would think, oh, that's sweet. But you have to remember that some people aren't going to take that as it is, and they're going to perceive it differently. And that's my personal issue with it, is that it puts parents in a difficult position as well, because sometimes people are reported for that, and it puts them in a terrible position as a parent where they're accused of something vulgar like that.
But not how seriously, because obviously they take every situation seriously, but if you were to go to somebody and go, oh, I've just seen this mother kiss their son on the
But the
lips.
thing is that they wouldn't say mother, because they would perceive it as
wouldn't.
something. If someone perceives it as something a bit more sinister like that, they wouldn't perceive it as a mother
Do you
kissing their
think
child.
it'd be worse? Because I actually think, because we're talking about, it's interesting how we automatically go to mother and son.
It is.
Yeah, well,
it
not
is
father
that.
and
This is a
daughter.
father and daughter.
That's true.
And actually, that's more like, that is more like it's
Yeah.
happened with a father and daughter rather than a mother and son. So, but even if I saw a father and a daughter, I wouldn't have any issue with it.
It all depends, isn't it, on, it's all relative really. I think we've come to the conclusion there that I think it depends on the situation, the family, and it all depends on what your opinion is on that topic, I guess.
absolutely.
Right.
Thank you so much for coming
Yeah,
on. the
thank you
show.
for coming in, guys. Some interesting views there.
now we've got something that's a bit different. We're going to have fun in the studio with makeup today. Natalie Snape and Kate Meredith will be doing some makeup on Joe, our producer, and on Katie, one of our journalism students. Let's take a look.
Right.
Hello. What are they saying to you?
Huh?
It's right, never mind. Okay, ready? Yeah?
Yeah.
Okay, cool. All right, so the long and short of it is, I don't know how I've got roped into doing this, but the plan is that we're going to each get a full face done. Is that right?
Yeah.
Yeah, full face done. And Liv and Lucy are going to keep coming back and checking up on us as the show goes on as well. So we'll keep you up to date with how it's going on. But could you just explain what your plan is for my mug? That's right, you can just talk to me.
Yeah, right, okay. So I think for you, I'm going to do like a matte finish on your skin.
Yeah.
And then do kind of like a bronzy, like smoky eye for you.
Okay.
And then obviously like bronze your face up a bit, do a bit
Obviously.
of a contour.
Obviously.
I was planning on doing lashes, but we've misplaced the lash glue, unfortunately. So
Damn it.
the
What a
thing
shame.
that finishes the look, unfortunately, we can't do, but I'll do plump your lashes up a
Okay.
bit, give you a bit of
Alright.
volume.
When you say
shape those
contour as well,
brows.
that's cheek?
Oh yeah, yeah.
Cheekbones, yeah.
Cheekbones. You go like along the T-bone of your face and
Okay.
jawline.
Oh, right. Okay, cool. And what have you got planned for Katie over here then?
Well, I work best with colour, so I think I'm going to do something really cute and colourful.
Because your eyes as well. How long's that taken you? Can we get a?
Zoom in.
Yeah. Can you
Like
zoom in on
5
that?
minutes. It's not
So is that taking 5
impressive.
minutes?
Yeah, just
Okay.
like whip it out. Yeah, but I'll spend a bit more time on Katie.
Okay. All right then. So what's the time now? It's 5:10. We're going to be coming back and checking up on this at about 1:45.
Yeah.
About 1:45 is the final time. But we're going to check up sort of in between that as well. So we'll see how that goes. But we're going to get going and we'll see what it looks like very, very shortly.
Good luck.
All right.
Right.
Sweet. Over to you, Lucy. You all right?
Right now, yeah. Sorry, I was just looking at you there. Time for a break.
Oh.
We're going to check up on how Joe's face is coming on and a bit of a more of a controversial debate. So don't go anywhere.
See you soon.
Hello everybody, my name is Mark, I'm the ACS president, and you guys should join ACS because you can meet like-minded people.
Hi guys, my name is Nikki and I'm the Vice President for the ACS this year. Make sure you join for the energy.
My name is Jacob Bilal, the Treasurer of the ACS.
Hey guys, my name is Charlene and I'm the female first year rep.
My name is Junior, I am second year rep, I'm part of the ACS social media team. Make sure you join ACS.
You should join ACS because you can meet so many people from similar backgrounds.
Okay.
For an experience like no other.
Express and embrace your culture. Make sure you follow us on Instagram at Salford ACS.
You're fine. You're doing well. At least.
Hold the mic. Yeah, fair.
I'm going to hold the mic.
We are joined by Will Dixon and Lars Magnus at Iglan Royce, bringing you all the latest in sports news. I'm so sorry for butchering your name there.
They're making her voice go funny. I can see what they're doing. They're doing weird effects and making your voice go funny, Olivia.
Right, so let's take a look at what's happening in sports. Let's have a look.
We're not live, are we? Oh God, don't do that.
We are there.
Oh, we are live. Hold on.
Perfect.
2 seconds. We're just sorting ourselves out.
No, I can't hear anything, but that's fine. We are here.
I will be able to hear
We're
in
going to
2
talk about
seconds.
sport. That's
There we
fine.
go.
We don't need our earplugs. We are sound.
Hold on. We
Hello,
got it.
Joe.
Hello.
Joe's back
Aren't you
helping us
supposed to do
out.
makeup right now?
Do you know what? I'm on my way.
Yeah, that's fine. Anyways,
We're getting there, but we are going to be talking sport.
Yeah, that's fine.
So,
do you know
we'll
what?
start
This
off.
is not it. I'm not going to use it.
Nah,
Never mind.
right,
Let's
okay,
go.
so-
Okay, perfect.
Right. Okay. So it's been a busy week.
has.
We'll start with the Champions League.
Let's
and
go.
Where better place to start than Manchester United? Because Lars, you were at that game.
Yes, I was.
1-0 victory against Young Boys, a Swiss team.
Yeah.
Tell us about the game.
Yeah, very boring game of football, Will. I have to say. It was, well, the first half against Young Boys was much better than Man United's performance on the weekend against Crystal Palace, which ended 0-0. Marcus Rashford, wasteful with his chances, couldn't really, take the chances he got. And it took a long time for Man United to create something, and then David De Gea pulled off one of the saves of the season, one of the saves of his career, to save United from going 1-0 down. And then Fellaini, without his afro, he still has the power to score the goals without his afro. And
Scored with his feet.
Scored with his feet. A little handball in there, and then tapped it in the 90th minute to send Man United through to the knockout stages of the Champions League. Obviously, a hugely important goal for Man United, as Valencia, they failed to beat Juve in Turin.
Yeah.
So Man United, even though they're having the worst start to a league season in 28 years, they are still through in the Champions League. So that's still good, isn't it?
Very good fact check.
About.
Very good fact checking that.
Thank you very much.
No, but I mean, there's a lot of talk about the game, and obviously about Jose Mourinho. It seems there always is.
Yeah.
And I mean, the celebration was an interesting one. I think we
Yeah.
should explain it, where he, kind of went full Hulk and lifted the massive water cooler and smashed it onto
obviously
the ground.
he got a ban some years ago, was it, when he just kicked the bottle. It was when he was managing for Man United as well. Yeah. And this time he just took the whole bunch of bottles and threw them down. And it has been confirmed that he's not getting a ban for it.
Really?
Which is good for him. But yeah,
Indeed.
it was a release of emotions, I think. Obviously, Mourinho having a torrid time at the moment with Man United, poor performance against Crystal Palace. And it was important for him to, still show they are through. Even though they don't play well, they still are through, which is a good result for them. And like he said in his post-match interview, he's been managing in the Champions League group stages for 14 seasons. Yeah, gone through in the group stage every time. The 2 times he wasn't in the Champions League, he won the Europa League. So
it's very true.
That's what he said, but
it is.
But
I mean, with stats and things like that, you can always twist them and you can always kind of make them appear. If you look at that record, it is very, very good. But particularly if you look last season, yes, you got through the group stages, but you lost out to Sevilla in the next round, which really should be a team that you've been beating considering the investment there is there at Manchester United. Of course. And it's almost kind of getting to this point now, it feels like what more needs to happen to be able to make everything happy, because players have been brought in. You can't really argue against that, and that we're still chopping and changing. There's still players that have been playing Man United for years and years and years who arguably should have been moved on years ago. Yeah. And what's still wrong?
Well, it's a shame that this show is called The Hour, because I could have said half of 5 hours telling what's wrong with Man United. There's a lot of stuff. But first of all, as you mentioned, there's a lot of dead wood in the squad. Players who are injured, sitting on high wages, getting paid still. The players who are on high wages, like the players they brought in recently, they're not performing to the standards they should. Like Lukaku, £75 million, not scoring the goals he should. Alexis Sanchez has a wage of £350,000 a week, and he's still not doing it. And yeah, it's just the players aren't performing, and I think that Man United's style. Well, what is Man United's style? It's kind of difficult. Yeah. You see, United are struggling to create chances, and when they play with Fellaini and Matic in midfield, it's kind of there's not so much creativity. That's the word, I think, something like that. Anyways, they don't create that much chances, and Lukaku with Belgium, he likes to run in behind. And with Man United having inverted wingers who don't find those spaces and not crossing to Lukaku's strengths, he doesn't score goals. I mean, United are really struggling in that department. But I don't know. There's a lot of stuff that needs to change about Man United. But we'll see if they can turn around. Man City are doing well. So there's one team in Manchester that's doing okay.
Man City are doing well. They're through the group stages after a 2-2 draw with Lyon. Yeah. I mean, Lyon have done brilliantly against Man City. They beat them at the Etihad and got a draw away from home. We did. Very enjoyable game. Yeah. But I think a lot of people are kind of expecting them to do well. But also, I think it's good to touch on Liverpool and their very complicated group.
It's very complicated for Liverpool.
Permutations, I believe the word is. And it's that if they beat Napoli by 2 goals or if they beat them by 1 goal, it's different. And it's difficult.
They probably need some explaining. So basically, in the Champions League in the group stages, if you're even on points, it's the head-to-head that counts. And if the head-to-head is equal, it's the amount of goals. And if the amount of goals is equal, it's away goals. Yeah. So it's really tough between Liverpool and Napoli. Basically, Liverpool, if they want to go through in the Champions League, they have to beat Napoli next round. Yeah. If not, they're out.
Well, I think with Liverpool is that it's very interesting because they got to the final last year and people maybe sort of set the expectations a bit higher. Yeah. But in the Champions League, it is a very difficult group. You know, Paris Saint-Germain and Napoli, they're very, very good teams. Yeah. But the performance has been poor. I mean, they lost away to Red Star Belgrade. Yeah. You know, they haven't been performing to maybe the expectations that they have.
Yeah, and with Liverpool, as you mentioned, like they lost away to Young Boys, they lost away to Napoli, they lost away to PSG. They lost all the 3 games away in the Champions League. And going through with, if they win all the home games, going through with 9 points, it's not that much. No. You rarely go through with just 9 points. And in that tough group as well, that's a difficult task. Like, it's the first time I think Liverpool have gone through the group stages without taking a point away. And that's not strong signs, is it? Like, they're doing so well in the league. They're fighting with Man City for that title. Well, it looks so far at least. And I'm not sure if they're going to be in the Champions League, you know. They would have to be the very strong Napoli side to go through. And if they don't, they're going to have the struggles of Europa League playing Thursday, Sundays. So City might have just, gained even more advantage with Liverpool possibly going out of the Champions League.
Very true. And last thing to touch upon is, of course, Tottenham, and they don't have an easy group, but they managed to beat Inter Milan at Wembley with an 80th minute Christian Eriksen strike, and they've now got to go away to Barcelona and match Inter Milan's result against PSV Eindhoven. I mean, possible but unlikely.
Very possible. Like before the game yesterday, which they won 1-0 against Inter Milan. They would have had to beat Inter at home, and they would have to beat Barcelona away, as to say, if they weren't going to have a chance to go through. So basically now, Tottenham are equal with Inter in the Champions League group, but Inter, they play PSV Eindhoven at home, I think. Yeah. Either home or away. They're playing them. But anyways, so I think this might be a struggle for Tottenham, also for Liverpool. But yeah, it's going to be exciting to see how it's going to go for the English teams in the Champions League.
Yeah, we'll keep our eye on it, and we'll go back to Olivia.
Yeah.
Let's take a look at Lucy's weekly vlog, which includes the Radio Awards in Leeds.
Today's Thursday the 18th of October. The night we're off to Leeds to the Arias.
Darling! I don't know what it stands for. The Audio Radio Summit. Industry Awards. Audio Radio Industry Awards. Aria. We need to go to get a bus from. Well, we need to get a bus to Media City and then a bus. I don't even know how long it'll take.
I don't think it's that long.
I know.
How are you all today?
How are you doing?
Hope you're all good.
Look at this. It's not all right.
Oh dear.
Oh dear. There's going to be a few people coming round, probably to ours, won't there?
Yeah. Because me and Lucy, we beat everyone else because we live in the same flat. So.
Yeah, so it's easier for people to come to us. We're just gonna sort of try and decide what we're gonna wear.
Hopefully we'll look a little bit more presentable soon.
Yeah, we're gonna.
Oh my god, look at the colour.
So we fake tanned. Oh my god.
My fingers, look in between my fingers.
Why are you laughing at me? I look like a lamb. You do.
A little lamb.
Saying I look like a lamb, but lambs don't have like ears the size of this, do they? Lambs have ears.
Is this what you did at first?
I just don't think. I've got my shepherd to hate me. That's a pirate. Right, so we're gonna probably get ready soon, and then you'll see everyone come round. Oh hi. Oh hi. Oh hi there.
Hi.
How are you doing?
See you later, everybody, when I'm drunk.
Bye.
Living big.
Oh this is Ivana. Welcome to my vlog. How exciting is this? So exciting. Holly was filming and then Ivana just passes through the door. And I was vlogging as well. It's fine. I know. And I had to like bang on the door and nearly kick the door down because someone wouldn't let me in because no one could hear me. You look like a mermaid. Look at her. I love it. Yeah, she could. Oh, this is so exciting. Are you girls ready? Are you excited? We're like a girl band. If you didn't know, I can play the trumpet with my mouth. Go then. So. I have three of my best trumpet tunes. This is number 1. This is number 2. Is that coming? And this is number 3. One day, 5-year-old me tried to whistle. 5! God, it's been around that time. 5-year-old me tried to whistle, and a saxophone came out. And a saxophone came out. She can give it high for birthday parties, weddings, funerals. She's done with man down. This is what happens. Look, he's arrived. It's dancing. She's here. Wait, ching ching everyone. What's your drink?
Look at my class. That's so bad.
It's half, like, nearly 3 o'clock and we're going getting on it. It's 20 past. Oh no, then 22. Oh, welcome. That's what you get from Matthews, isn't it? Yeah, you always get carrot sticks from McDonald's. Oh my god. Let's go. Have you ever been in a vlog before? No. No.
Have you not? We are all vloggers.
You're gonna be on YouTube.
It's just, sometime. Wow.
We really pushed us to pay 20 quid for a bottle of wine. £20 for a bloody bottle of wine, Molly won't do it. 20 bloody quid for this.
So we're here now.
We made it.
And lots of people are just coming in, so you probably won't even be able to hear us.
It's quite nice though. I like it.
Nominees are Justin Dealey, BBC Eastern Counties.
Yeah, baby, love is you.
So
Molly and
I were on the bus.
Paul was literally asleep.
Ready for bed. We were watching sleep. We're like, oh, I can't wait to go to sleep. Then they turn around and be like, do you want to go out? Okay. This is such a
Well, no, we was going. Me and Lucy were just joking about the idea, and it just kind of like.
It happened. It's happening. It's happening, boys.
It's happening, bitch.
It's happening, bitch.
Hi guys. We're just currently at Inflate Nation in Manchester. It was free to come, so yeah, it's free with the uni, so we just thought I'd pop along. One more. 3, 2, 1, go! It's got deep, it's like, it's going to be dead deep, and you're like, oh. Actually just go. Go! Look at that. New profile picture. It might get lost in the balls. I don't want that to happen, do we, Lucy? Yeah, there's a lot of balls. But we're having a great time. Yeah, well, it was either coming here or going to the gym. Guess what you chose? I think it's because we're in quite thick clothing as well. I think I'm dirty this morning. The balls are dirty, Lucy. It's quite a nice sensation on my face. Falling down. Can't get back up. Every time I stand up in this one, knocks me off.
Is that weird?
What turns you on, Lucy?
Watching people cut silk, I can't like watching.
So, this is what Lucy does in her spare time.
I'm not even joking, like I'm obsessed. Like, it's all over Instagram.
The big question, do you put cream on your scones first or jam?
So, in Devon, what they do is they cut the scone in half, then they put clotted cream on one of them and then strawberry jam on the other and put it together and eat it like that. Then in Cornwall, they cut it in half and then they put jam on first and then clotted cream. So, now we have Ben and Lucy, who are scone enthusiasts. What are your thoughts?
Well, yeah, I think it, like, as you said, very much depends on the type of cream.
Okay.
That's like the main driver here. And I think like most people, as you brought, like, this isn't technically even cream.
Excuse me.
So, like,
it was handpicked. Like,
so like
carry on.
you've got the question here of like Devon and Cornish creams are two very separate entities.
Right.
So the Devon cream is technically more of a butter than like a sweet topping such as your squirty cream.
That's from Boobs. That's the only thing I could find in Boobs.
Other supermarkets are available.
Ben,
They would
you're
have
really
Cornish.
thinking about this, and
Yeah,
I
yeah.
haven't
So,
thought
like-
much about. You
What's
really
your
are
thought?
a scone enthusiast.
Luce, let's go to
My
you.
thoughts. I like to put the jam on first, and I like a bit of clotted cream. I'm a clotted cream girl. Do you not think it's better? I don't like that. I'm not gonna lie.
Yeah.
I'm sorry,
Sorry,
guys. I don't
guys.
like the old squirty cream.
Ben, do you prefer it more like
Yeah,
buttery cream?
I spent a lot of time holiday down in Cornwall, so I would have to have it the Cornish way because that's the proper way.
So jam first.
To be very controversial, yeah,
Okay.
jam first, then cream.
Yeah.
As I was saying earlier, because like the Devon cream is more their butter, so it's a base, whereas a clotted
that's
cream
interesting.
is harder to spread. It's more of a lump, so you'd put the jam on first because you actually spread that.
I feel like we're learning a lot about
Yeah.
scones,
Yeah,
cream.
I've learned a
cream,
lot
cream.
already.
And also, obviously, we've got to follow the directions of our great inspiration muse, the Queen.
Oh, yes.
She also has it the Cornish way. So she would prefer the jam, which they make on location at Windsor Castle, and then they have Cornish cream on top. So if you are a proud member of the United Kingdom, you should follow the lady herself.
What about you, Olivia? What do you prefer? Which
Well,
first?
I put butter on and then jam.
Butter.
Yeah.
That's an interesting.
I love it,
one.
butter.
Do you warm up your scones so the butter melts?
Oh,
That's
no.
another thing. See, I heat up mine. I personally would have like probably cream first and then jam because I like to let the cream like soak into the scone a bit. Ben's not happy with that. And then have a little smattering of jam on top.
Ooh, I like
You
that.
can't spread the jam though then. You get like lumpy jam.
Just put more jam on.
You can't have too much jam, and you're taking away from like the main point of having a scone. You might as well just have strawberries and cream if you're going to have a load of jam and a load of straw.
Oh, now we're heading into the other debate is which type of jam do you have on your scone? Do you go strawberry, raspberry?
And then there's another debate: scone or scone.
Oh, actually, let's go
Well,
to that one now. Ben, is it scone or scone? What do you think?
What do you say?
What
I
would the
normally
Queen
say scone. I think a queen would be an open valve on it, so it'd be scone. I
True.
think.
Yeah.
But you know, you got the classic saying: it's a scone before you eat it, and then of course it's a scone when it's gone.
Hey, bum.
Hey, that was very smooth. You
Yeah.
practiced.
You heard it right here. You heard
Spent
it
all
right
night
here.
looking in the mirror doing it.
That's funny. Lucy, what do you think?
What do you say?
Oh, it's a scone. We're from the northeast, so well, I'm not. Where are you from, Ben?
Yorkshire.
Yorkshire. So where does it divide? Is it the more northern you go, it's scone? Or is it what would you say? What's
interesting?
I say scone.
I say scone. I'm from Shropshire, so it's kind of like Midlands. So most people I know say scone. What you say more?
I say scone. But I change like depending on who I'm saying it. Like if I'm saying it to my dad, then I'd say scone.
Yeah.
But that's just because he says scone.
I know what you mean.
But then if I said it to you, I'd probably say scone.
Scone.
Yeah.
It's gone.
Scone.
It's gone.
Scone.
Right.
Scone.
Now, we're going to put you out of your misery because we're having you kind of just looking at these delicious scones in front of us. So would you guys like to?
Should we dive in?
Would you guys like to have a try?
Come on then, Ben.
Show us how you do it.
Competitive challenge.
Ben's in charge. Yeah,
Can we
go on.
see them? Right, so we've got the scones.
They're
we've
cut
got
already.
little.
A little bit of jam.
Strawberry jam.
Have you
So
got
we
strawberry as well?
Yeah.
Strawberry jam, yeah.
I'm very impressed with the jam. Like, it's
Have
very.
these stolen freshly from a hotel or?
No, I bought them from Booths.
Freshly from a
Oh,
hotel.
the supermarkets are available, guys. Yeah.
Am I all right to use my hands or like?
Yeah.
They're
dig
already
it.
cut.
Hygienic.
Are you going to do it as well after us? or
Yeah,
we just-
why not?
you two will have one as well.
Right,
We'll let
hang
you
on,
two
I'll
do
go
the
right
honours
back to you.
though.
Oh gosh, I'm getting crumbs everywhere.
It's very tense.
See,
Oh,
if you
I'm
zoom
feeling
in here,
nervous.
camera zoom in at Ben.
Wait, are you going
He's
into
putting
jam
the
first?
jam on first.
Jam on
Yeah.
first.
I thought you were doing cream first.
Yeah, yeah. Oh,
changing
oh.
I don't trust myself.
So we
with
got
this.
Cornwall
It's a bit of a struggle.
versus
I'm trying to like
Devon.
angle it for the camera to
struggle.
see.
Right,
There
you
we go.
ready?
You see that? Look at that. That is
How much
pro.
cream
pro
are we going
work.
for?
Woo!
Hello.
Lot of cream.
I didn't think that. Didn't think that much would come out.
I don't think I've ever been so nervous spreading jam before in my life.
All the crumbs.
I'm getting crumbs everywhere.
Yeah.
I know.
It's fine. It's literally my job to clean this room. So
We'll leave it to you then.
You're doing a good job.
there we go.
Ah.
Oh,
Do you
so
know
you didn't put it on top?
No.
Oh, she's going
You know what I
Devon.
just say?
Just
For those who don't know what's going on, Lucy has done a very clever idea of doing her scone. So she's done, but the cream on
Sorry, I
one
put on
side and the jam on the other side, so almost like toast. So it's going to go together like that.
Yeah, but
so
look how unevenly spread that is.
logically done.
All right,
Oh, yeah,
Ben.
you've got
No.
a nice,
Hang on.
perfect
Please
surface
on
area
this.
here.
Yeah.
Yeah, to be
Yeah.
fair.
You ready
yeah.
for Ben? You ready?
That's so much pressure.
Oh wow, the squirty cream
Oh,
is
it's coming
coming
out.
out all over.
Ooh, how delicate.
Oh,
You've
this-
definitely done
this
that
can
before,
is
Ben.
rubbish.
Ben's done this before.
This is low quality grade cream.
Right, can we look at my scone compared
Yeah.
to?
Let's compare. Let's compare.
You're putting
There we
the top on it.
Which camera on? I think we're on 3.
Whose is better?
Whose
Oh,
is
you haven't
better?
put your top
I
on
think-
yours,
I
Ben.
think we should
You
have a
just have
live
it open.
studio vote.
It's like
You
it's
eat
like
it
a
just
loaf
like
of
that?
sandwich. Yeah,
You didn't put that back
Interesting.
on?
No, because then you have twice as much cream. You got like a nice even distribution.
Right.
Cream's quite nice.
Is that tasty?
You should like cut it in bits and make like little samples. for
Have a
each other.
taste test.
I think we'll have a little taste.
See
test.
how.
Yeah.
See if this cream is nice.
It's really good.
Is it?
It's quite
Ben?
sweet.
I'm
It does look like
surprised
a
it's
nice
a UHT
cream.
product. There you go.
Oh, it's too big. Oh.
What?
I'll put mine down there.
These are tasty.
Have
Oh,
a
thank
little
you very
nibble on
much.
that.
Ooh. Let's see how this tastes. This is the jam
Ooh.
first, and then the cream.
That's
So this is-
nice.
Mm. That's tasty.
That's nice.
Mm.
Right.
Right. So now, moving on, the Hour is actually having a bit of an identity crisis. Now, it used to be known as Chatterboxes last year, and it has been renamed the Hour. So, Joe, can you please just make up your mind already?
Sorry about that.
It's not acceptable.
Right,
Not
so
acceptable.
now we have the VT for Chatterboxes last year, their last year episode, which was a Christmas special. Let's have a look.
You know, it's the 29th of November, and until it's the 25th of December, we shouldn't be celebrating Christmas, or at least at the very earliest, the 1st of December. You wouldn't celebrate Easter in January, you wouldn't celebrate Halloween in September, so why are we doing this now? It's like a big corporate money-grabbing scheme just to get decorations and album sales up early. You know, I'm just not having it. I'm not happy. I'm not ready to celebrate. It's just not the time of year for me right now, and it's ruined my Christmas spirit.
I think Christmas should start as soon as Halloween finishes. It's basically Christmas then anyways.
No word of a lie, I started singing Christmas songs in July on my summer holiday, so Ben definitely won't like me.
Well, we have Joe on the phone who totally disagrees with Ben. Joe, are you there?
I am indeed. Can you hear me?
Yes, we can. So, Joe, when do you think Christmas should start?
To be honest, I think it should be Christmas all year round. It's such a fantastic time of year. I mean, I don't know what on earth Ben is on about by saying that you can dislike Christmas. It's Christmas at the end of the day. I mean, who doesn't like the food, the presents, everything? I mean, there was, in fact, a man who celebrated Christmas every day for about 7 years, and he had roast dinners and everything every day. Absolutely fantastic.
What would you say is the best part of a Christmas dinner, Joe?
Oh, the Christmas dinner. Oh, it's going to have to be pigs in blankets with gravy for me.
I would agree.
Not
Definitely. I would agree.
But to be honest, like everyone likes Christmas dinner.
Joe, what's the worst gift you ever got for Christmas?
Oh, the worst gift I ever got for Christmas. You know, it was probably from my now ex-boyfriend. You know.
Yeah.
Oh gosh.
But
Thank you very much, Joe.
It was.
Now, let's tiptoe away from that. What is Christmas without the food?
It's Rudolph without his red nose. It's a pig without a blanket and a pear tree without a partridge.
So we sent Ella and Hannah off with the task of decking their table with baked Christmas treats.
Hello and welcome to the Christmas cooking session. And we are going to be making Christmas cookies. We're going to have a star. And there's a Christmas trees as well. All very Christmassy in here today, as you can tell. And what ingredients you'll need to make these Christmas cookies is 1 egg, some vanilla extract, 275 grams of flour, 100 grams of unsalted butter, and 100 grams of caster sugar. But before we start cooking, I reckon we need a drink. Ah! He cracks. More experience with wine than I am, obviously. There we go. One for our cameraman. So first, we're going to be creaming the butter and the sugar. So this is where everything's going to go wrong, I guarantee. I'll blend that. Okay, next up we want to crack an egg into the bowl. So we've got some vanilla extract, we need a tablespoon of that. Do you want to actually use the whisk?
Whisk?
Oh, fine. Next up, you want to put in the flour bit by bit and whisk it in. Ready? So you want to keep adding the flour in bit by bit and whisk. Misk? What's misk? Yeah, pop it in bit by bit and keep pouring it into this nice and creamy. Oh, there it is. No, it's fine.
It needs a strong,
Yeah.
a strong whisk.
A strong whisk.
I'm just going to buy this.
With some elbow grease.
Yeah, you keep going. That's looking like cookie dough.
Yeah.
Nice work, guys.
I feel
Literally
like...
guessed every measurement. Every measurement going, we guessed.
Quick math. Okay, right. So you want to sprinkle a bit of flour on the surface. Okay. Rolling pin. I can't believe I'm genuinely used to the frying pan. So now we're going to get onto the cutting. Which one are you going to have? A star. I like a star. I don't want to put it tree. Right, ready. Touch the line. Touch the line. Ready? Give it a nice hard push. Before you started baking, you needed to preheat of the oven to 180 degrees.
Degrees Celsius.
Degrees Celsius. Now we're going to put them in. So we need to bake the cookies for 8 to 10 minutes and then check if they're golden. So when your 8 to 10 minutes is up and the biscuits are golden brown, we bring them out of the oven. We're going to make icing butter. So now we've blended our icing and we're going to decorate the cookies. So I think that deserves a cheers, don't you?
Yes.
Definitely.
Cheers,
Cheers, guys.
Super. Here's to Christmas. Okay, here we go.
I just spilled it on my shirt now.
Such a lovely video and a really nice throwback. I love those cookies. Now we are checking back with our makeup artist. It's currently 5:45, so let's talk to Jo first. So Kate, what makeup look have you done on Jo?
So we've gone for like a glittery bronzy eye look, which is very wearable. It's very fun, and he's got bright blue eyes as well, so it just makes his blue eyes pop. And then obviously we've gone for like a very bronzy face. He looks a little bit scary in the monitor at the moment because he's got no brows. But I think we'll go for like a nude lip probably.
Yeah.
How do you feel so far, Jo?
I feel like my face is quite stiff. Like, I'm not used to having all this stuff
Makeup
on my
on.
face, so I keep going to touch my face, and it's I'm like, I
You've got
can't-
glitter everywhere.
Yeah, it's just see look already I'm getting it all over my fingers.
He's currently being bronzed and highlighted, so.
So I can notice that he's got foundation on now. One quick question, do you prefer using a beauty blender or a brush?
I personally prefer using a beauty blender just because I feel like when you dampen it, it's kind of like spongy and it helps me apply it better. But I feel like they do absorb a lot of the product a lot of the time as well, so I feel like it's quite debatable on whether people prefer brush but beauty blender is easy for me, I guess.
Right, you've currently got about 10 minutes left. Do you think you'll be able to complete the look in that time?
I hope so.
Good luck! Right, so now we've come into Natalie and her model Katie. So please just explain what look you're doing on Katie.
So I'm kind of doing similar to like what I've got on my eyes at the moment, so quite colourful. This would be like a cute thing to wear for like New Year's or something. But yeah, just like this is the palette I'm kind of like going for. So it's very colourful, and I think I'm just going to do like a little bit of a rainbow, like transitioning from colour to colour. So
It's really vibrant, like makes your eyes pop.
yeah, she's got really pretty like green and blue eyes. So.
I'm going to ask you the same question. Have you put foundation on Katie?
Yes.
And would you prefer to use a beauty blender or a brush?
Probably a beauty blender, but there are certain products. If you have a really liquidy foundation, it works better with a brush. If you have more of like a thick matte foundation, it works better with a beauty blender because you're not going to get like streaks in it and stuff.
Yeah.
So it just depends what sort of product you're using.
And how are you feeling?
Feeling good. I trust her. She always has nice makeup, so.
Do you think you'll be able to complete the look in the next 10 minutes?
Yeah, I mean, Katie's got semi-permanent lashes, so that's a big weight.
Helpful,
yeah.
isn't it? Right, thank you. Right, now we're moving on to Lucy.
Now let's take a quick ad break.
Next up, we'll be having a discussion on something that is perhaps seen as a little controversial, capital letters. Now, I'm sure you're all wondering why capital letters?
Well, a number of reports have stated in recent weeks that lecturers in the journalism department at Leeds Trinity University received a memo warning them of the risk of students' anxiety levels going up due to the use of capital letters, explaining that uppercase letters could make it seem a task seem a bit intimidating. So students could look at a piece of work, capital letters, oh my gosh, I'm intimidated. So
scare them.
Guys, what are your thoughts? We've got our favourite debatees here, Dan and David. What are your thoughts on this whole issue that's been circulating in the press lately?
Do you want to go first?
I don't agree. I think it's really, really silly. This idea that it might intimidate students, I think is naive. I mean, you know, it's a journalism department as well, so journalism is a high stress pressure job. I'm a journalism student myself, and if something as basic as capital letters are going to intimidate you in that field, you don't belong there.
Do you know what? This is going to be controversial. I understand why, and I think it's not that bad of an idea. So, like when you let's think about this in other situations as well. When you're texting people and you're angry with them, you're going to use those capital letters. You're going to double press that capital button, and all those letters are going to be there. Why do we use it? Because we want to be like loud and in your face and get the point across. And actually, yes, be quite intimidating. So why is it not intimidating when a you know, a lecturer emails you and in capitals it's like, this needs to be done by this date? Just say it nicely. It's
all about context, isn't it? I will have to firstly confirm that it has actually been confirmed by the university that it's not true that they've denied the fact that they're banning capital letters altogether. There has been a recent statement that they've released on Twitter, the university, actually stating they just want to limit the amount of times that students will use capital letters, and the Vice-Chancellor of the university has actually gone on to explain that it's all about context, and what they're trying to stress as a university, that as a student, journalism in particular, you should only use capital letters, obviously, for their correct use, obviously starting a sentence, etc., etc., and you shouldn't just use them, you know, here, there, and everywhere. Yeah. That's basically what they've been trying to say, and I think the general consensus is that perhaps it's blown a bit out of proportion. But we will go on with the debate anyway, because it is an interesting topic. You know, what is your view on capital letters, and do you find them intimidating? So, I mean, let's go to university experience so far. Yeah. Would you both say that? I don't know, you would get intimidated by capital letters in a piece of work?
Do you know what? I don't know if I've had any emails here that have had capital letters. I'll say at the start of a sentence, because literacy. But I don't think I've had any. But you have to remember that when you're typing something, it's a visualization of you saying something. So would you go up to somebody and go, like, your deadline is on the 9th of December? You just tell them.
As a journalist, that's every day of your life. You have people like telling you have 4 hours to do this, you need to get this done. Yeah.
They're not, well, they shouldn't shout at you anyway, they're rude. But they're not banning you from using it in like journalism work, and they understand that in work. This is why they said it's in like context.
It's all about reducing the amount you use.
They're not saying don't use it in your English exam. You know, it's pretty important to use a capital letter and here and there. I've learned that the hard way. But what they're saying is, why do you have to use it in an email?
Yeah.
But you know,
I just think that it's something that's so ridiculous that, I mean, like, I don't even know if it's just such something that there's so much energy being put onto that's so unimportant.
Yeah.
I mean, I don't think it really actually affects anyone that greatly to see something. I mean, I've had emails with like please read or like important notice, all in capital letters, and I say that's important. Okay, I should read this, but never have I ever been offended by it, and that's just me. So I'm speaking for myself, but I don't understand how it can be intimidating.
Well, how many times have you got a text from somebody, right, and they've put it in capital letters or they've put a full stop, which that is too much.
That's never happened. Everyone loves me.
Really?
Well,
no, I'm only
can't
joking.
relate.
When I get them all done.
I get a lot of angry messages.
No,
like, where are you?
But how many times have they sent you something and they put it in capital letters or put a full stop, and they haven't meant to, but to you it's come across as rude, and you.
But the thing is that I think. I mean, if you trust your lecturers to have a kind of a boundaries, you know, and like a decent rapport with you, okay. I mean, I know I trust my lecturers that they would never be unprofessional or have an unprofessional rapport with me.
Can I just say?
Sorry, you go. Yeah.
They can. I got told off for. This is not a really, but I got told off for saying bless you last week. Like, they're not that professional.
Yeah. There's a lot more we can debate, but it is unfortunately time for a break. We'll still be, still to come though, we're going to check up on how Joe's Face is coming on and some more controversial debates, so don't go anywhere.
Is 5:56 and it's time to now reveal the final look. Let's go to Joe first.
Right, ready?
Are you ready? 1, 2, 3, turn around. Woo! How do you feel?
Do you know what? That's actually... My eyebrows look unreal. I've never actually seen my eyebrows look like that though before. But... Oh, here we go.
Oh,
See,
final touch.
The worst part, like, your face feels really hot. Oh. Like, because you're not used to having all this stuff on your face and it kind of gets all in your eyes and stuff as well. But I like, kudos to you girls, because I don't know, and drag queens and gays and all of you.
People who wear makeup.
Yeah, people who wear makeup in general, because I could not do this like all the time. I don't know how you got the patience either to do it, so kudos to you.
I don't have the patience for your eyebrows anymore,
No,
Joe.
I know. So have we done one?
Yeah, I didn't finish the other one.
Yeah, so this
Ran out of
eyebrow's been
time.
done. This eyebrow's been done, but this one hasn't, because like they're quite manly bush eyebrows.
Okay, thank you so much, Kate, for coming to do Joe's makeup. Right, let's now reveal Katie's makeup. Are you ready? How do you feel?
Oh, it's really nice. It's bright. Oh, it's lovely. I never wear anything like this. I normally just wear like really natural colours, so it's like completely different
But
to
you really
anything I
suit
know.
it.
Thank you.
Wear it more often.
I
How do you feel when
I
you
think
wear
it's
it?
really cute, yeah. It's very something that I would wear, so it's nice to like put something on someone else that like, especially Katie does like wears neutrals and stuff. So yeah, it's cute.
Thank you so much for coming in. Now let's we're going to move on to do Mrs. and Mrs.
No, before Mr. and Mrs., which we've got coming up in the show, we've got the rest of the debate to finish off now. So let's.
Do you want to take
sorry about that. Thank you so much for joining us for our series of the hour. We've had so much fun today, and in our last 7 episodes, we will be back in the new year. Don't worry.
Thank you so much for watching. Have a great Christmas. Take care. Goodbye.
Bye.
Bye.
Hi, this is Mairead from Channel 4's The Circle. If you want to watch more, press here.